my feeling is that everything that I do, everything that I hear, influences my music. I mean, I hope it does. That's the aim. Aim is to embody life in what you do in every way you can. And the other teacher that I had, Roberto Girard, always used to say that composition involves, and this was before we became aware of the problems of language, the whole man. And he always said that you must put everything that you have and everything that you are into every musical act.
Why did the absence of light disturb him less than the presence of noise? Because of the surety of the sense of touch in his firm form. Like the true light of the truest
After the
sun.
final no, there comes whose sinking is the intelligence
No
of
was the night.
Yes is the present sun.
By and large, most pieces get about 6 hours of attention from the musicians who are going to premiere them. So I realized, I don't remember exactly when this hit me, but I realized one day, as a composer, I can decide how my 6 hours are going to be used. I can decide that they're going to be used on figuring out what the notation means, on learning how to communicate with each other, etc. Or it can be used in playing music, in being musical. The music which has been heard for a long time, the music of our tradition, and the musicians who write now in a way that is resonant with those traditional ways have an incomparable advantage over people who don't write that way, because it's in the ear. The musicians who are performing know the standard. They know, and the standard is expected of them. Whereas in the context of many new pieces, the standard, the reference is unclear. The reference may not actually exist. It may be created in the context of working on that piece. That takes time. That time is spent then, the 6 hours, if that were an appropriate figure, that 6 hours is spent on getting to the point where the reference exists, and not with a refined and elegant use of that new space. So there are a lot of kinds of impracticality, and they each have, they each have their perils, and they each have their wondrous, rewards.
To speak of Ilium's overthrow, the Achaeans have gotten Troy.
And the city echoes with a clash of cries.
Trojans are stooping now to gather in their arms their dead.
Husbands and
Children kneel to clasp the aged who begot them.
crying upon the death of those most dear.
I think that music as a phenomenon is probably undergoing a change, and that when I was a student, I imagined that music would continue to be something that occurred in halls, in front of quiet audiences, with performers who were dedicating their lives to performing that kind of music and so on. It doesn't seem to me that that's true anymore. I think that there are a vast number of ways in which musical creativity can be exercised. And I always encourage my students to build a way of working that allows them to use any material for any musical purpose. And that's what I try to do. So I'm interested in, non-traditional architectural spaces and working in theater, working with dance. So I think that the likely future of music is much less a locus of clear points than it used to be. I think music is likely to be a behavior that spreads into other venues, into other media, mixed with other media, in contexts that we don't now think of as music presentation contexts, and so on and so on. I think that music is, or will become, let's say, the elegant, eloquent, masterful use of sound in whatever context for whatever purpose. And I think that a musician who thinks in terms of opportunity as tied to particular sorts of venues, particular sorts of media and so on, is probably deluding him or herself. I think that it's not going to continue to exist in the same way that it does now. Exactly where it's going, I don't know. But I do know that I think it's moving to a more generalized profile. And that doesn't mean, again, that it can't be masterful, that it can't be moving, that it can't be, everything that music has been before. It's just that the frame is not stable anymore.